Okay, so, hi everybody. I did a thing where I made this entire video with the camera turned vertically, and I thought it would adjust. And it didn't. And so, clumsy, silly me, after I'd gone through that entire video, doing the entire thing, and I was very proud of myself for it, the thing was turned on its side because I thought it would automatically adjust, and it didn't. So I'm going to go over this tutorial once again, and I'm hopefully going to remember some of the points and things that I wanted to make before that I didn't get to make. And let's just get to it then. So what I have here is some dragon's blood. Comes in chunks like this. And you have to bang it around a little bit, and then you start grounding it into a powder. If it doesn't come in chunks, be very suspicious, because a lot of occult shops like to pass off red colored sawdust that is scented with fragrance oils. They like to pass that off as dragon's blood. Now, in the other video, I made this entire vial of dragon's blood oil. And you see how thick and red it is. It is super, super concentrated resinous oil. What we are doing here is I have a cheap dollar store oil burner. I have lifted the tea light inside. Let me show you. I have a jar lid, and I set the tea light on top of it. This is to raise the tea light up so that it heats up. Now what I do, since I've already made some dragon's blood oil, I'm making another bottle. It's a little smaller than the other bottle. It's about half the size. If you like and leave a comment, by the end of October, I will send you this vial of dragon's blood oil that I am making right now. Now this is some dragon's blood oil from a previous batch that I made, and you see the difference in quality. The reason is I didn't use this cheap ceramic dollar store oil burner. I used one of these with a metal pot that sat flat on here. It is a candle warmer. It just does not warm up enough to melt the dragon's blood, which you have to do. Now, this already has oil in it, so we're going to pretend like this is brand new and clean. First thing you do is you add your dragon's blood powder, and you add that to there's a bit of other plant matter in there. I don't know what that is. I'm going to put it over here. You add your dragon's blood powder, and you leave it there with the candle burning underneath until it begins to bubble and melt. Now I've got a chopstick here. I got this little spatula thing here. This spatula thing is pretty cool. I got it out of a hummus mix thing. It's really cool. Dragon's blood does not have very strong scent on its own unless you're burning it. Hi guys, I'm sorry, I'm cut off. It's just gonna be the way it is. Anyway, it doesn't have much of a scent on its own when it's in oil form. There is no true essential oil. You can't extract the scent of dragon's blood in any way, shape, or form. So anytime you see dragon's blood oil and it has a scent, it means that something has been added to it. And it might not even have dragon's blood resin in it at all. So it does not have anything to do with actual dragon's blood. It's just fake scent. You can use fake scent in magic, but it won't be adding anything to it other than changing the mood. Plants have an energy of their own. And they also have a spirit. And when you use a plant in any part of a plant, you know, whether it's essential oil, whether it's the herbs or the roots, the resins, anytime you have that, you're using part of that plant's spirit in your magical undertaking. You see where this is melting. I want to have this pretty well melted before I add some oil, until it's really nice and hot. I could smell some of the dragon's blood burning. It's very... It doesn't have the same scent as it does when you burn it on charcoal. When you burn it on charcoal, it has kind of a, like almost a baby powder scent. When you do it like this, it's darker. It's a darker scent. So you could, if you don't have charcoals, you can burn dragon's blood incense just like this. It gives off a little bit of vapor, not really smoke. Alright, so this is jojoba oil. I'm using jojoba oil because I don't want it to act like other oils. Jojoba is actually kind of liquid wax structurally, you know, on the microscopic level or whatever. And when you stir in the oil with melted resin, the oil becomes very rich very quickly. You want to watch the heat on this though, because oil can catch on fire. You don't want it to start to smell like fried food, so you don't want to get too hot. If it starts smelling like fried food, turn it off. By turn it off, I mean blow it out. And dragon's blood is good for any operation that has to do with obtaining power and evoking universal power, especially. It is good for clearing blocks, whether it's clearing, you know, healing blocks, emotional blocks, or clearing blocks in your obstacles in your path to success, whatever, what have you. It is good for clearing away curses. The keywords for dragon's blood are 3 P's: power, protection, and peace. Dragon's blood can be used to settle disputes. There is one spell where you take a bottle and you add sugar, salt, and dragon's blood, and then you hide these bottles in the corners of your home, and it's to prevent arguments. And you see how beautifully concentrated this is. That is why this oil is superior to this oil. Now, because dragon's blood doesn't really have a scent of its own, sometimes, not always, if I really want a pure product, plain dragon's blood in jojoba oil is, it really packs a punch. I mean, look how red that is. Look how red that is. I have never seen dragon's blood oil like this in an occult shop. And it's really a shame. But it's also good because you can make this and it's not that hard to make. Dragon's blood is really cheap. I mean, inexpensive in comparison to like frankincense and myrrh. Because dragon's blood palms are, they grow back pretty quickly. Unlike frankincense and myrrh. Here is an oil that I made with dragon's blood oil as an ingredient. It's called Apotheosis. I used to sell these, but I don't have a store open right now. But this is a secret recipe that I have. That Apotheosis is used to bring yourself in touch with your divine self, your higher self. Your inner dragon, if you want to say. See, my beliefs about dragons is, well, let me just go ahead and read you this little thing I wrote. Let's sign on. Do I really have to sign on? Looks like I gotta sign on. Okay. Okay, I'd like to share some of my personal beliefs about dragons. To me, dragons are not Pokemon characters that you befriend and then send to do your bidding. Dragons are symbols for something bigger and greater. If you've ever looked into fractals, sacred geometry, the Fibonacci sequence, you've perhaps seen a Mandelbrot set. Using the Mandelbrot set as a model, you can imagine the geometry of the universe unfolding in patterns of nature through the expressions of the golden ratio and Fibonacci sequence. The universe is a conscious fractal, and every iteration of nature is an expression of that fractal consciousness. To me, a great universal dragon is a perfect symbol to represent this fractal consciousness, and dragons are the perfect symbols to represent the individual iterations of consciousness unfolding through sacred geometry in the universe. So when I watch a morning glory climb, that is draconic. When I watch the swirls of almond milk in my coffee move in spirals and eddies, that is draconic. When I look at the stars all careening through the galaxy, going through thousands of miles an hour as their planets dance in circles around them, that is draconic. It is the physical unfolding of energy and matter, yet it is non-physical consciousness, greater than any of us. It is instinctual and unconscious, yet can be influenced by conscious direction if you apply consciousness in the right, subtle ways. This is what magic allows you to do. So the dragon blood is really melted into the oil now. Now, I've told you that dragon's blood has no scent of its own. However, cedar, in my opinion, if you want to add scent, cedar is a compatible energy with that of dragon's blood. It won't take anything away from the dragon's blood. It will only enhance the dragon's blood. I'm just feeling the energy of the blood itself. Imagining that this is distilled blood of a dragon and imbuing it with that power and might. I'm going to add the cedar oil. That's about 20 drops. I know that was really imprecise. I was just waiting till I felt like it was enough. I'm going to allow this to cool before I bottle it. Because as I learned the last time I did this, these plastic droppers melt very easily. So while I was trying to fill this up, I went through like 6 or 7 droppers. So that is Dragon's Blood oil. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you try this yourself. If you do try it, please let me know. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll be here. Bye.